Hey guys, welcome to today's tutorial for Sharp 11 transcriptions. Today we're gonna look at a transcription I did about 2 weeks ago of a Tim Miller guitar solo on the song Bethany. In one way we're gonna zoom in on the solo, and in another way we're gonna zoom out, kind of. We're gonna abstract some concepts for us to practice. This will actually be part of a larger series on how to build a solo. So for this first video on the topic, we're just gonna be checking out the first 2 pages of the solo. It's like 16 or 17 bars. We're not gonna be focusing too much on the notes. We will pick some things out and analyze them a little bit, and I'm gonna give my 2 cents about it. But we're mostly gonna look at the bigger picture, like the structural things of the solo. So of course the solo starts off with already an interesting lick. And I think the reason why this lick is, or run, is interesting is because it starts off with a D7 arpeggio, which is an unstable sound. It has that tritone in it. And then it kind of resolves within itself into a stable sound. You could argue it's kind of like E minor 9. Yeah, it doesn't have the third of the E minor. It's more like a B minor 7. So you get D7 going to B minor, E minor-ish, which is a resolution in itself. And that's kind of what makes it interesting, in my opinion. It has a tension and a release within itself. So there's already 3 things I want to take from the first run. The rhythm, the melodic span. It starts on the lowest note and it starts on the lowest string and it ends on the highest. And the unstable sound ending in a stable sound. It's already 3 concepts that I want to keep in mind, which I can use if I maybe want to create my own weird fast runs or something. It's something I can grasp, it's something I can use and take and apply in my own explorations of runs or licks or melodies. There's a lot of hidden gems in this solo, and these are really subtle and won't really become obvious until you really take a closer look at them. So we have this fast run, which is a very strong opener, which has a very strong sound because of that unstable to stable sound. It then ends with a little motif, which he uses to build the next contrasting answer on. And that's the other thing we can take away. We're just 3-4 bars in, and there's already so much we can take away from this. We start fast with this low to high run, and then we contrast it with a very melodic line. So that's already something we can take out of it. Then he repeats it again, fast run, same run, and then a different answer, so to speak. He then goes into these triads, which are all a third apart. We first have the B minor triad, then we go into a G triad, and then E minor triad. And then, from the first time I heard this solo, I loved how this little line resolved, going from bar 9 to bar 10. And I never knew why, but now I know why. It's because it implies going from a D7 to an E minor, which is a deceptive cadence at a 5, going to the 6 minor instead of the 1. And I think that's the reason why I really like this sound, why I really like this little melody. If we move on, we again have this fast run, which is kind of the anchor of the whole solo. It's where he bounces all of his other material off of. He can contrast it pretty simply by playing just more melodic lines. It has a very strong structure. It has that pentatonic sound in it, so he can easily take that sound and play outside with it, but that's for another video. But already we're just 2 pages into the solo, just 16 bars, and there's already so much we can take away from to use and practice on our own if we're trying to get a better grasp on how to build a solo, how to play a solo that makes sense. Because that's a problem which I had to deal with when I was starting out with improvising. I just was hoping like hell to hit the right notes, but it didn't really go beyond that, so it didn't make any sense, it didn't go anywhere. It was just like, yeah, moving from chord to chord and trying to make the changes. But with these concepts, we can give ourselves a little more of a framework and a little more structure on how to fill it in, and then the notes. First we get a framework, and then we can fill them in with notes. If you don't have a solid frame, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's not really a priority on if you're playing the pretty notes. If it doesn't lead anywhere, it doesn't matter. So, to recap what we can take away from just the first 16 bars of this solo, that's contrast. Contrast not only within the line, as we have seen with the unstable sound resolving to the stable sound, which is a contrast. There's also the contrast of the fast run and the melodic answer, if you will. Then we have repetition and variation. He repeats the fast run, but he varies the melodic answer. And finally, which relates a little back to the contrast, it's implying tension and release in your melodies. So, I gotta study melodies, mix unstable sounds with stable sounds. I gotta come up with some fast runs, and I have to end those fast runs with a more melodic, lyrical ending. So those are already quite some concepts I can take away and start applying right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. There will be more videos like this, and we will be moving into other territories. Also, if you like this shirt, you can buy it now. I'll put the link in the description. We have various colors, so go check that out too. And I will see you next time.